George Young and Damien to table 11. Bellick. Damien Bellick to table 11. Johl and Trent to table 12. Norton. Trent Norton. George Young to table 11, please. Second call.
Don't forget, if anyone wants to commentate, come and see Kenny down here. On table 5, we have Jake McCartney, Johl Younger. Table 7, Ben Noonan, Ben Judge. Table 3, Rory, Johl, Steve Woods. Table 8, Mark Gorski, Don Colbert.
We're on. Oh, fucking sorry. No. Well, what have we got here? We've got Jake McCartney and Johl Younger and Steve Woods and Rory Johl. Alright, 2 good matches coming up. You sticking on? You going to stick on Kenny or?
No, I'm not. I'm too busy doing this.
You stick on one, buddy.
You need some? Yeah, I'll have a go.
Jump in, Dazza. Darren Chambers is coming in.
Show me the ropes.
Just lock that on, yeah.
Playing too much like back this weekend to be commentating on things.
Yeah, you're on. Well, we've got a couple of good matches coming up here.
Good afternoon, guys. Darren Chambers here. So who have we got, Brett? Jake McCartney,
Jake and Johl and Stevie Woods and Rory Johl.
Rory's been playing very well this weekend.
Yeah, I just seen him. Never seen him play before. I just watched him play a few shots against. Just looked over against Sean Partridge. It was certainly quality shots, so you can. I've heard a bit about him. Like, pretty big raps on him, so.
He took out Sean Partridge this morning.
Yeah, a couple of really good shots to that. When I looked over, he happened to just at the right time we happened to be playing these really good shots.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I know he did well on Friday night as well.
Yeah,
what
was that?
Comps.
Oh, right, yep. So I think we're down to the last 16 now, so it's still race to 4, I believe, is that right? Yeah, race to 4, yep. Anyway, things are heating up here now, so.
Decent break there from Steve.
Yeah.
What are you liking there, Brett?
Definitely yellows, Does?
Yep.
The 2 yellows on the right hand side of the table, obviously the one on the right looks like it's on. If that's on, it's 100% yellows. And if it's not, I think it's still yellows.
Does the black go on the bottom left?
Yeah, that's on for sure. Yeah, I think this will be 1-0 pretty quick, Can't see Steve not getting through these. What do you do here? You take the one up the top now? Yeah, it's a shot. I think he needs to come back a bit and actually put the other one, one of these two back into the overhit that. He wouldn't be happy where he's left that. He's just go over it a bit, but yeah, get rid of one of these two balls. Should still knock it in, but just made it a bit tricky to bridge it over the ball now. And nice shot.
Yeah, top shot.
Right, if you can clear the other one on the right hand side now.
The right hand side one, yep.
So they all just link up nice,
Jake must be hobbling around a bit, that's why they can't start. Is that right?
It could well be. What's that? Yeah, Steve's got through these nice.
Who is it? Jamie says to move the mic away from your mouth a little bit.
Yep, right. Is that better? Really? It's got to be over here, doesn't it? Is that loud?
It's up to you. I'll turn it down a bit.
Okay, all right. All right, Steve has got through these nice, so that's 1-0.
Straightforward frame for a bloke like Steve.
Yeah.
So Jake and Johl are about to get into it, and I've watched a couple of Johl's games this weekend, and he's doing pretty good, so it'll be a good matchup.
Yeah, Jake, after his accident on Friday, it's got to be affecting him the way, he can't stand properly or whatever. He's obviously, he's going to still play pretty well, no doubt, but as long as you can put pressure on his leg. But
yeah, for those that don't know, Jake had an incident with one of the tables over the weekend and damaged his foot, so it'd be a little hard to ignore.
Yeah, he's got one smashed in toe or something, and the whole table dropped. Table one, that was me. Jump in here, Reese. I ought to go and play, so Reese will jump in here with Darren.
I don't think Jake will be unhappy with that shot, although he did want it in, of course. But
Woodsy was 1-0, isn't it?
Woodsy's 1-0, yeah.
Woodsy's 1-0. Sorry, Woodsy's 1-0. Thanks.
Hi guys.
Afternoon, Reese. How are you?
Yeah, good.
Excellent.
Still kicking in the Bronx, so
Oh, good work.
starting to hit a decent ball again now, so that's the result. Yeah, a couple of great matches up here.
Yeah, we were just talking before. watching a couple of the frames from these guys over the weekend, it's Rory's been playing really well.
Yeah.
And even watching Johl, he won the Friday night comp over Sean Partridge. Played some good frames, so yeah, it should be a couple of good matchups.
Johl and Woodsy ended up in the final of... Oh, was that the final? Or it might have been a semi. They might have played each other in the semi.
Might have been the
as
semi,
well. So yeah, they're both in form, both going deep in the comps. So I was on the table next to Woodsy yesterday, and yeah, nothing but quality from him. I didn't see him miss. He sort of did see him in that for those frames where you got that one ball left, and you've obviously missed your opponents at the table, sort of thing, and they sort of should take control. But seeing him play some big stuff to finish after that, controlling the game very well. But
so Joel's got a bit of a difficult out here, isn't he? He's got to try and get past that red down the bottom left.
yeah, on the yellows, he's not happy to open up that top pocket yet. Doesn't want to play the bottom yellow either, because he's probably because he moves the red and the black and stuff, and he likes them where they are.
Yeah, it's a good shot. I think he's covered
I
that.
don't know if it is. I thought the way these pockets are, I think he can play that red off the left jaw, and like it either goes or covers, sort of thing. I think Jake's going to have
Jake could
have a
definitely
chance
cover it.
here. They're not obviously the reds are terrible, but I think he's still got a chance to do something to stay in the frame.
Darren Kent, Nash, table 10, please.
Critical
Takes
miss.
the other red long, yeah. Great white ball. Can see exactly why he took on the shot. But yeah. Woodsy with a bit of a queuing test on this right hand side table. Now going in nicely down the rails there. They're not too tight, like some of the stuff we play on. So I'd back him to get these. I'd like to know if the black does pass to that bottom left corner. I don't think it does. I think it's a tight pocket if it does.
It doesn't look like
But
it.
he might have to get up past the yellow a little, just to make sure he can sort of get through it and not run into the red.
Play the bottom right.
Yeah, I think that's nearly perfect sort of thing. He might just run a little short and take a half ball black to the bottom right corner, I think. Oh no, had great angle. Dead straight. Beautiful.
Another ripper out.
Good to see. I've got half a Woodsy and half a Johl in the Calcutta, so
Oh, good work. Yeah. Well played.
both in the 16, so Woodsy looking good so far. Johl with a tough match, but
Joel's just come a little bit unlucky there.
Jake not playing at 100%, I wouldn't say.
No, I noticed
There's definitely some difference the injury's making, but
yeah, he's got a foot like a sore thumb.
but he's still putting them together though. He's gotten through a couple of. He played Jamo and got through that match and stuff. So Jamo's not usually an easy beat. He'll sort of keep the pressure on you. He's
100%.
so he hasn't really had a walkthrough, I wouldn't say, apart from his first round against me.
I did actually watch some of that. Yeah. What was the score with Jamo? Do you know?
3-1, I think.
Okay. He's got that. Yeah.
Jake playing the shot I was talking about earlier. Is he going to take on the pot, or is he? Yeah, he's just trying to cover up. Yeah, he's actually played that on the safe side because they have been hard pockets to cover these this weekend. I'd say they either slide in or they just bounce straight out there. But the top players do tend to play a shot that's a bit more like that. They don't sort of cover the pocket neat. They more smother the ball to make sure they get in there, sort of thing. They
allows them
they're
to
less
pot later on.
I'd say they're less fussed on potting their ball and more about containing their opponent. Like, you just got to make sure they get back to the table because they know they're capable of making something happen if they get an opportunity. So they're just making sure they get an opportunity. Johl.
So what's Joel going to do here? Is he going to run the yellow under the red and just try and take the coverage back?
I don't know how well it works. You might need to top through it and have a second hit of the yellow to sort of push it further in the pocket, but you can't really play shot to nothing because Jake's always going to have that top right ball. Is the only reason why I don't love the shot. But he might have enough coverage on.
Yeah.
It does look like there's a gap under that left ball as well.
That's actually not bad, is it?
Under that left red, under the left yellow, I would say that red nearly goes rail first. So he's probably not in that comfortable a spot, Joel. I've been feeling like I'm in this position a lot of the weekend, where you have just nearly ideal balls, but you still have some difficulty in it, and you just like you're on the front foot. You're definitely doing better off than your opponent, but you just like I've got to play that one or two good shots to make the out, otherwise I lose.
I'm hearing you.
No.
And that's a good pressure shot from Jake too. Actually, looks like he got a snooker. Had he have fallen foul on that one as well.
Yeah, I think he'd be having a good look at this bottom left red to see if it passes and sort of opens up, gives him a bit more control back. Get it out of the way sooner rather than later. I think that'd be where he's running. Might try and run into the... Oh. Yeah. It's a good shot. Makes sense. I like it.
Just try and pressure Johl into playing the one by the black.
It is a funny thing, like the amount that goes into whether they're playing the safety is a correct shot or not, sort of thing. Like how much of an advantage it gives you, whether it makes your balls better, whether it's going to make your opponent's balls worse, and
as many times
and
you
stuff.
do it,
So
and
a lot
it
of times,
doesn't work.
you'll watch the lower players play a safety that doesn't give them an advantage. It'll get them back to the table, but they're not in any better spot than they were in the first place, sort of thing.
You did
so
right. Yeah.
we're this one that Jake's played, Joel looks like he's really got to pull something out to take over here. He does.
Jamie Murray, table 14, please.
Yeah, which is why he's opting to play the shot he is.
It's me. It's all good. They're saying you're a bit quiet.
So Jake with 2 visits behind the red.
So Johl just ran up onto the
Ro-
red. Yep.
And Rory on the clearance.
Rory's a little gun this weekend.
Yeah, it's hard not to focus on the match between Jake and Joel.
It is,
with
you're
the
right,
quality of those
yeah.
two players, but good to see Rory putting a bit of pressure on Woodsy.
He's having a great weekend. Yeah, good. Well done, Rory. Just stops the run too that Steve's got. It just makes him just think a little bit and say, all right, this guy's no slouch. I've just got to make sure I do everything right.
Wow, that flew through clean.
Didn't it? That was a ripper shot.
That's insane.
Couldn't see that from here.
Yeah, it looks like there's hardly a ball gap there.
Yeah.
He's played it from a terrible angle. Flies in. That is part saying the slide of these jaws.
So obviously he's got the black as a bit of an issue.
Oh, that's similar to the shot I missed against him, actually.
Or maybe the left centre
I felt real
pocket
bad
is
when
an
I missed
issue.
that.
But Rory won that one. Yeah. Yep. So what does Johl do here? Obviously he's got a problem there with the yellow on the black.
Well, considering the size of the pocket that Jake potted the red through, you can play the bad yellow first, but I don't know,
He
it's
was
not gonna
just
be that good a
looking,
white ball.
can you get the yellow that's near the nameplate underneath the red and use the white to punch the black out on that shot? So play the corner one first.
I was just looking at the middle ball under the left yellow, off the top rail and back down. Hold on, what? Oh no, sorry, I thought that was Jake at the table. Obviously Jake knows what he's doing. The benefit of this is you might be hitting it a little bit thin for the red to hit the...
You could play up
two?
towards the centre pocket where the red is and play the thin cut on the yellow down to the same corner he just potted that one in. It's risky, obviously.
He's nearly. If you can, it's tough. I feel like if he plays it, if he plays the yellow rail first, I feel like the red runs into the pack, and he'll give himself an option. He's just got to make sure his white's good, but you're still relying on a little bit of luck. But I don't think he needs to get in with the. I don't think he can get into it with the white, and I don't think he needs to. But in saying that, if it doesn't cannon him, your white's in a terrible spot. You're probably playing your chance at landing on a face cut double on the yellow. It's not good. So it'd be good to check Johl's quality at the moment.
Please move to top 79, please.
Just had Jamie asking here what other matches are on. Not too sure. I think some of the Blancs comp is running.
Yeah, it's a bit mixed up here, Jamie. We've got games from.
So we're in the last 16. Oh, yep. So Evans got up on Dale Gifford. Yeah. It would have been good to watch that match. See, might be another good up and coming junior.
Looks like Peter O'Keefe against Tim Dixon as well.
Josh Gorski versus Lachlan Courtney.
Johl going for the double.
I'm pretty sure Donny's still in the main draw.
Unlucky.
He's playing against Mark Gorski.
Certainly a good option, but I think Jake should be taking away the frame from here, I would have thought.
Tem versus Ace O'Keefe.
I don't know. I'm not sure who won.
Not sure. Ronnie George is versus Glenn Cross, but I'm not sure if they're in the main draw still.
Oh, and Steve's just scratched off the break there, so the balls are reasonable here for Rory to do something with.
I might just go have a look at the table at the actual draw, so we're not guessing about who's still in the comp.
So Rory's got ball in hand off Steve's break.
Can I see the main draw sort of thing, to see who's in the 16? Just to let everyone know. Oh, that is it? Yep. So we got Jake McCartney versus Johl Younger.
Reds.
Ben Noonan versus Ben Judge. Rory Jowett versus Steve Woods. Mark Gorski versus Don Colbert. Peter O'Keefe versus Tam Dixon. Travis Henderson versus Joseph Evans. Josh Gorski versus Lachlan Courtney.
It was a good effort from Rory to try and break that apart.
And Rob Bowen versus the winner of another match.
Not to hit it as thick as he wanted to.
Which is on table 1, which is over there. Which is the winner of Ronnie George and Glenn Cross, I think is his last name.
It's a good shot, Rory. Obviously didn't want to pot that in the centre, so he could use that to get position a bit later on in the frame.
Yeah, he's playing confidently.
Played that with a lot of confidence.
I do like it. He's sort of got enough angle that he still can move that red. I don't know if it does pass to the top left.
He's looking at it. He looked at it before.
I think he likes it, yeah. I played it from where he is, yeah. Yeah, I don't mind it. You can sort of force it a little bit. Like, even if it's not on, you can still force it out of it from where he was.
What a great shot.
That's pretty awesome. It does look like the black passes the yellow too, so...
Into the corner.
It's probably a little unfortunate that he's a bit... not unfortunate, but he's a bit straight on this.
Correct.
Could have been a bit more foresight, but when you're playing a tough pot like that...
So it's a nice bit of new cloth to give good bit of backspin.
That looked like he had the other angle. That looked like he was running towards the bottom rail, and he's... Wow. Yeah, that's a mega out from Rory.
Huge. Absolutely huge.
Especially under the circumstances. 3-1 down to Woodsy. Woodsy being the favourite and the winner from last year, basically.
Well done, Rory.
Great out.
He's certainly not going to go away from this weekend unhappy.
So we got some comments asking about what happened to Jake. Basically, they were moving a table, and the table fell off the
trolley, wasn't
the
it?
trolley that they push him on. Yeah, basically landed right on his foot, and now he's missing a toenail, and his second toe is broken.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jake had to visit the nurses and doctors.
Yeah, we weren't sure whether he'd be back, but he came back and played in the Friday night comp and all, so he's just been limping around the table, just moving a bit slow. Had a wheelchair for part of the weekend.
Turned up in a wheelchair, yep.
He's getting sick of walking on it and hurting, but...
I think the boys got stuck into him over that.
Oh, that's done a little bit of funny stuff. That sort of nearly hit the rail twice, but... Yeah, I think he's trying to force Jake to make an error here. He's doesn't want to run into that pack and make him the two up the top and land bad, Joel.
So Rory's actually not in a bad spot again on this frame. So he's just taken the yellows.
Yeah, the reds are not in a good way.
Yeah, lovely shot. Oh,
yeah.
Little gap between the white and the yellow would have helped.
It's a tough one, that's it. You would like to run into the yellow more so there, I'd think. But in saying that, it's easier said than done.
100%. No, I'm not sure if I like this shot. Unfortunately, Rory's fouled there, I believe.
Who's got in it, and where's the guy with the table 9 please?
I think I would have preferred to play
Called
up the
in
top,
the Blancs.
up to the the bottom left, and just at least covered the pocket for Steve's red.
So I'll leave you with Darren Chambers. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Reese. Good luck, mate.
We'll talk to you.
So Steve's on 2. Obviously got a couple of dead balls to get rid of. Which he's managed to do that, and pot a ball. So well done, Steve. So still carrying 2. He's probably just elevated himself to favourite there. Yeah, and that's a good rail shot too. You take the one up the corner, top right corner, then middle right corner, middle right centre, sorry. Still carrying 2. So we've got Leigh coming to join us for commentary. Leigh Gilpin. Welcome aboard, Leigh. You are live.
Viewers, welcome to Albury 2020 from the Commercial Club in Dean Street. Lovely venue, lovely carpet.
Lovely carpet.
You can actually throw up on the carpet and no one would even know, just move away the other direction.
Someone may have done that. Yeah.
I would suspect it's happened.
Maybe that's why they put it in.
Sam Holland and Andy Bailey to take a photo.
So, yeah, Steve got away with that one. I think Rory played the wrong shot a bit earlier, and gave Steve the chance to win that frame, which he took. So.
I'll tell you what, there's a few superstars missing this year. The field is wide open, and when you get some of these matchups like Jake and Johl in the round of 16, it really opens up
Yes.
exponentially.
How did you go in the comp today, Leigh?
I play in the snooker room, different conditions to these tables. But, I'm on mute. Am I on mute?
I've been talking to myself for the last 5 minutes. Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. Am I live? Hello, viewers. I have to hold it down the whole time?
Just till that thing goes on.
Right. Okay, I'm here.
Oh,
Hi.
well, welcome, Leigh. How are you, mate? It's like you've been
KD.
here for the last 5 minutes.
KD, yeah, I'm just settling in, a bit of a practice run.
Yeah.
We got the dang man here, the wingman, we got Kenny. This is all happening. This is great.
So you were just saying before when you were off here.
About the carpet, that's right. Correct.
You had
It
the
looks
carpet.
like you could vomit, and you wouldn't. No one would even know. It's awesome. Sorry, yes,
Not sure.
Stefano and Mark Gilpin to table
We were
It's fixed. It's fixed.
we were too busy pushing buttons
We've
to
got-
make sure that Leigh was online.
Can you find out who won out of Jake and Johl? We missed that one. We got the around the grounds reporter, Grug. Sir Grug's a lot, as he's known more in more formal circles.
So Jake's just had a dry break there. Unusual for Jake. What would you be taking here, Leigh? Probably the
God,
yellows.
What are we doing here? So what's he potted?
Nothing. So Jake's dry.
Dry.
Yeah.
Well, I always look for crap balls myself.
So do I. Yeah.
The two reds together on the
Yep.
bottom left of screen.
Well, both sets of reds together are a bit ugly at the minute.
Yeah, I would be looking at yellows. Probably yellow top left just to secure getting on them, and then leave that rubbish. A little bit of insurance. I like
Yeah.
insurance.
Let Jake deal with it.
Yeah, I'm one of those more defensive, in or over players. But it was a bit of a anticlimax. Got sent off to table 19 in the snooker room earlier, and
How was the weather up there?
well, there was a bar fridge there, but then we found it had padlocks on it, unfortunately. So I played Travis Henderson, who, to go all the way to Albury and play your club mate or teammate, a local bloke from Melbourne, always fun.
Yeah.
But we had a couple of chess matches, 2-0 up, and then he just out-chessed me a little bit in the end. We both not many mistakes, so not unhappy really. He's still playing. I can see him playing now. He's playing young bloke from Queensland. I'm not sure who that is, but he just knocked off Dale Gifford in the previous round.
Yep.
1-1 Jake and Johl. We got
So Joel took the yellows and
yeah. So Joel probably doesn't look at problem balls. He probably looks at his linking route to the finish. I think he's finished a bit too far across here. He wanted to finish straight and probably have the
to take the next yellow he's looking at
bottom
now.
corner.
Yeah.
So
As long as he keeps that rubbish together for Jake to deal with, he's got a little bit of insurance there.
yeah, well, race to 4 with these kind of players, it's more about the break and getting the advantage early. So
Yeah, top shot.
it's a good shot,
Good
but he
pot.
couldn't hold the white.
He couldn't,
He
no.
couldn't because he just went too far on the previous shot. So you always have to look back to what
Yeah, it
people
started
would say
before
good
that.
shot, but unlucky. But it's not because you got to go back one. So now he's got a super thin. I actually saw Mick Hill cut a black in similar to this to the bottom left.
Yep.
That's actually circulating it at the moment.
I think the only good thing about the cut is he's not going to disturb the two clusters of reds.
I don't know.
But the double's on, which doesn't leave him a nice white
Where's the table?
for the yellows up the top.
Yeah, he's played for the double. That's a great shot.
I didn't see the double that way. That is a great shot.
Yeah, it was too thin. If he played the cut, the white would have hit like 15 rails, so he couldn't really do that. But
Now, do you think Jake can take the red closest to the black inside the yellow?
I think he'll be looking at that right now. Because he's got a little error margin there where he can hit up the rail a little bit. There's quite a space there
And
next
take
to that
the,
yellow.
take the
so
coverage at least.
even with the two dead reds on the left-hand side, Jake is probably just gone favourite just because he's at the table. And that's out of there, and that could have gone in, but
Yeah.
didn't. So, yeah, well, he has to dig up, not down.
That's one cluster dealt with.
Yeah. So how'd you get yourself KD today?
No,
King Daz?
I failed was probably the word for it.
No dramas yesterday, qualifying?
Qualified fine. Qualified quite comfortably. Got JR this morning, and
yes.
JR certainly knew what he had to do against me, and he did it. So all credit to him. I learned a couple of lessons from him, so not unhappy with it at all.
Couple of chess games.
They were all chess games.
Yeah. Well, people play to their strengths, don't they?
Yeah.
And one of Jake's strengths is
that was a ripper
Did
shot.
anyone see that?
Absolute
I
ripper.
saw it.
Yeah.
That's a cracker.
Yeah.
Drilled it down the rail.
So what do you do now?
Well,
He hasn't really got a nice shot on, has he?
he will probably not take a pot on, so he'll try and look at killing the white somewhere, but promote a red at the same time. So if I was Jake, I'd be looking at the red just to the right of the white ball. I'd be just bumping that forward a bit and sending the white back across the right-hand side under the other red. So
Yeah, gotcha. I understand. Yep. So under
just
near
like
the
a
nameplate.
containing
Yep.
safety shot, just because I didn't have any option. But if Jake is feeling good, he'll find some crazy pot that I don't know about.
Like that one.
Okay, so he's gone for a similar shot, but gone for the pot, and not the little cover, the little dinky cover that I would have come up with.
And he's ended up getting 2 balls in where we thought we couldn't get
yeah.
one.
Well,
He's a superstar.
it's good and bad because he's sort
He's
of
in the
really
same
hasn't-
position. He's got
again,
nothing now. Yeah.
He would have obviously preferred the one on the top right not to go in. Combo.
There is a cannon
Okay, the dang man is
ability.
suggesting
Yeah.
the combo to the middle, which is
Yeah.
no, he's not playing
I'd
it.
probably
He's
play
not
the
playing it.
closest one up the top left, just to keep the white way down. Oh, okay.
off the yellow.
Wow. Wow.
This is look, these shots.
Yeah.
We can see these shots, but you got to be so accurate to make them.
2 millimetres out, that was not going to work.
That top, we would hit that yellow full ball or something, and it's just becomes a mess up there.
I'd have potted the yellow. That's what I'd have done.
Well, that's Well, I was trying to give you credit there, KD. So.
I won't be offended.
But that's just accuracy. That is like Kenny Nichols style accuracy. That one. You got to be.
So all of a
pinpoint.
sudden it turned into a frame that.
And then he's missed the one that you'd
okay.
expect him to get.
Yeah.
His 2 previous shots were much harder than the one that he just missed.
Well, that proves he is human.
That's right.
He's not a machine.
Exactly right. He is. I saw him miss a couple of blacks. I saw him miss 2 blacks against Reece Godden earlier, and he still won the match. But these guys do miss. Do not write yourself off when you're playing them, because they're not robots.
And that's good
They're not
advice.
robots.
That's good advice.
Anything can happen. Never concede. Never go, well done, and just hit the black in with your hand. Don't do it.
No, I don't do that. I always let the player play the black.
I've seen it today. I've seen it yesterday, and I've never done it. But people do it.
Not only for the fact that there is a chance that they might do something wrong, but it's satisfaction for your opponent
It's
too.
rude.
They've
It is
got
rude.
They want to pot the black. They're there to pot their 7 balls in the black, and I think it's only fair to let them do that, even if it is sitting over the pocket.
Yep. No, fair call. It is rude to do that. Also, if you can show that you have a bit of composure yourself, if you can stand there like Ding Junhui and they don't know whether you've just missed or just potted something, and you've got that mental faith. Jimmy
Strength,
White is another
yeah.
one. Just the composure. It can be a little bit unsettling. Just little mind games. Not games, but just.
But a lot of the game is mental, as we all know.
Wow. Anyone can knock balls in.
Correct. We can all pot a
Can
ball.
you do it with Ben Noonan with a black over the hole? That's
No.
another question.
Yeah, your chances drop dramatically.
That's exactly right. Look at Johl. Look at him go.
I was going to say, especially if it's final frame, but I haven't had the privilege of being to final frame with Ben Noonan yet.
I'll tell you something right now. I've known Benny for about 20 years. I have never beaten him in one single frame of anything.
Really?
Ever. Yesterday, I won all my frames, and I had to play Benny last, and he broke and potted out on me. And I'm like, I concede. That's it. I just give it to him. I've never beaten him, and
I took a
tried.
frame off him in a pairs comp a couple of years ago. He probably wouldn't remember that, but I certainly do. I'll never forget it.
That's right.
was a highlight for me for that day and probably that week.
Yeah, he just produces when he needs to, and sometimes when he doesn't need to.
I heard he was on the back foot qualifying yesterday. Like he almost went to a playoff to
Yeah,
qualify.
he was in my group. Yeah, he had to.
Actually, well, I think it was you that told
Yeah,
me.
he probably needed that last frame. The one that he goes, probably. He goes, I should concentrate for more than 5 minutes at a time. He's gone bang, 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 and the frame went for about 4 minutes 58, so that's about right.
And that's probably the issue at that level. When it's qualifying day, it's a chore to them, isn't it?
It's more of a social thing, I think, which is good. They just sort of expect that I'll get through, I'll be right, but then someone will pull out a good pot out here and there, and
then all of a sudden they've got to concentrate.
It can be, these guys have missed out. Mark Robertson missed out 1 year.
Did he really?
Yeah, at Anzac, I think. Jake's missed out before.
Really?
Then you see the results later on. Winner of the Blancs comp, and it's got the $1,000. And Grugger's just come to the rescue with refreshments.
Some lubrication.
Just Bendigo. Okay. So we just from news just in. Break it. Beep 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 beep. Breaking news. Grug, around the grounds reporter, has just informed me that the young lad who beat Dale Gifford and is currently playing Travis Henderson, he's wearing a Queensland top, but he's actually from Bendigo. Joseph Evans. Okay, there you go. Being from Bendigo, there's another guy from Bendigo, Nick Howie. Does anyone remember him? Wizard Merlin, Eggy Mills. I was given a note earlier. Shout out to Wizard Eggy Mills, Howie. Nick Howie, best player of all time. From Gruggs and Chiefy and Brett Rogers. Okay. Well, shout out to Eggy Mills. Good stuff, mate. Hope to see you back here 1 year. It's can't remember ever seeing you here before, but former Australian champion. So as I said earlier, when I was on mute, a number of good players not here this year, so the field really was wide open. I looked at the Calcutta list and thought there's probably, realistically, without being too harsh, maybe 6 guys that could win this tournament.
I believe you're right. Yeah.
Woodsy, Benny, Johl, Jake,
Tim. Tim's been playing really, really well of late. Absolutely stunning. He's pulling outs out of nowhere.
And Johl was up the list. Ben Judge, another smoky. It's you really can't predict pool, obviously, but there were a few notable absences. Alec Avranadis usually comes here and he's won a few. And
Scary and
Robbo. They always get paired together like that, like Ernie and Bert, But it's good. And then you get early matchups where they knock each other out. And, the bloke from the pub down the road is like, oh, hang on, if these guys are out, I'm playing, Grug or Leigh Gilpin or some crab like that. I'm a sniff here.
And
so
it can come down to the draw too. Like if you're just
you're
just on the outside of those top 6, a good draw will get you right up there.
That's right. You just need one little soft draw, and then you get a couple of cruises. You're in the prize. How many you have to win to get money? Money back after one win, yeah? Something like that. So anyone who's at home, you can plan this right now because the Albury Wodonga 8-Ball Open every year is on the Labor Day Victoria Public Holiday weekend. You can go on Google right now and find out. Oh, and Ronnie George is playing Rob Bowen, which means my lift has just been knocked out because Ronnie George and Glenn Crowes played a 4-hour marathon over there.
So does that mean you're getting dragged home?
Well, I'll just hide behind this pot plant.
Just sit behind me, maybe. I think you'll fit.
I'll talk some shiz as long as I can. But
now, Rob Bowen plays a good game. I enjoy watching Rob's game.
He's very underrated. He hasn't been here very long. He came over from the UK and very, very quiet. Plays in the Prems with... oh, God, who did he play with? I can't even remember. I'm all summer comp. I'm thinking about winter. He's very underrated, but he knows what to do under the pump, and he beat Travis Crawley before.
He beat Crawley, did he?
Yeah,
Good job.
Yep.
He played for Victorian State in the Nationals a few months ago.
Yes, correct. Yep. Yeah, he was one of the first timers with Shane Falconer and
He good shot, Joel.
someone else.
He put a post on Facebook the other day about a race to 3 with Tim. He said he's undefeated against Tim in races to 3. And Tim agreed, so I assume that's true.
Yeah. No, anyone who's seen him play a few frames here and there, they know what he's capable of.
Oh, you go running scared, that's what you do.
I just find pot plants and just run behind.
Yeah.
I try and cover pockets and hide the black and all this kind of stuff. You eventually get found out.
I
really.
find that if you look at your cue like it's broken, that's always a good divert.
Rob Bowen. Yeah. So Ronnie George. Ronnie George has been around for a long, long time. He plays for DDPL, Dandenong Districts Pool League for Settlers. And Ronnie George, if you had to pick someone in this building to have the longest frame in the next 10 minutes, you would go Ronnie George, because I don't know if it's intentional, but he loves tactical frames. Nothing wrong with that. I've played Ronnie George many, many times. But when you could draw him, you can expect a tactical frame. So when he draws someone like Rob Bowen, who's the exact opposite, that's when it's good viewing.
Yeah.
And so stay tuned. I mean, Jake and Johl, they both usually pot out on people. But you watch Ronnie George try and tie up Rob Bowen. Okay, yep. Kenny's got 2 cameras on each table. Great setup. Very, very good setup. Yep. Showing us all the angles. But
So Rob's on the yellow, and speaking of Rob's aggression, like there is an out here. It's not straightforward, but I can see that there's definitely one there. All the balls are potable.
Well, I think that one top left will pass.
Yeah.
If you play the combo now, you just got to. The white's going to be loose. That's the issue. Nah, he's judged it well. See, because he was hitting so thin, the white was always travelling. But
Yeah.
he's judged it well. He's pretty straight on that top left one, so he's going to screw back probably to the. Oh, well, he's got so many options. They all pass.
They're all potable. They all pass,
they all
and,
go.
and Rob can certainly do it. So
Just got to figure out where the black's going to go and work your way back. So where do you want to be for the black?
The black can go in the left centre. So well, not from here, because I was thinking play the yellow closest to the white now into the bottom right corner to get onto the black for the centre, but not from here.
Well, I'm not sure what his plan was there, KD.
I'm not
is
sure
he on,
either.
if he's on this, that is
Wow.
that is
Yeah.
super lucky.
Cool.
That is he overhit that by 2 feet, and he's been lucky.
So now the black's
Oh, sorry, yeah.
the black's looking like bottom
We
right.
need more around the Grugs with Sir Grugs a lot. Where's Grugsy? Leigh Rainan requesting Grugsy. Around the grounds. What
So-
else we got? Can we get a score with MD?
So now he's got a challenger holding the
Time to
white
go.
now.
Oh, I'm giving the flag. Can I finish this?
And that's a great shot, Rob. He actually made that look easy.
Right. Good call. Okay.
1-0 to Rob
Yeah,
Bowen.
Rob was very fortunate to finish where he did after overscoring by about 2 feet. It
On
really
a
was-
7-foot
it was 2
table,
feet.
that's a
It
fair
was.
percentage.
It was 2 feet. Okay. Travis Henderson is through over young Joseph Evans from Bendigo, who's obviously, he's won 2 matches to get there, so confident youngster. Good on him. done well. Made the trip to Albury. A lot of people at home on the couch. As I said earlier, you know the dates from next year. Book it in now.
Tracy, a number of the table 12, please.
I come here every year. I don't expect too much of my. I'm not a superstar by any stretch of the imagination. But it's a bit of fun. It's a great venue. Great. We have a special guest, Andrew Miles, also known as Sir Grugs-a-lot, is joining the fray. So we just KD taking a break for some refreshments, I assume. And we have Grugsy. No, that was King Daz that just left. Now we have Andrew Miles. Yep, perfect. Andrew. We got Grugsy. Yep.
I don't know if you can hear me, but
Just Kenny, just to press the button or anything. All good. Oh, welcome, Grugsy.
hello.
Grugs.
Was that high enough?
Yeah, no, there we go. And Johl says thanks very much. Thanks very much, Jake.
Oh,
Yeah. I don't know.
have they been informed it's a race
I didn't see
to
from
four?
the start. Sorry. People at home would have been watching and probably jump all over the chat with the correct score. It's all right, mate. There's a lot going on here.
It paves the way for Moondog to be on the screening.
Don't know. Where are they? Oh, they're way over there.
Yeah.
Okay. See, normally we would get Grug around the grounds to go and find out the correct score. But
Gets
he's here
lost sometimes.
he's here in the commentary box, filling in for KD, and Ronnie George just promoting a yellow there.
Ronnie George is number one in table time this weekend.
Yes, correct. So, not sure who's gonna appear on the next game, but I can tell you that the
Odds-on favourite is Moondog.
okay. So we'll have Rob Bowen and Ronnie George, and go and get your go and get your Horlicks and
Tell all your lady friends.
settle in, because Ronnie George doesn't mind a long frame.
He
And
started the round of 32 about 7 weeks ago.
it was an early start and a very late finish.
Tell all your lady friends, Moondog's up next.
But that just Moondog's in the mix. But that just goes to say, I mean, you don't need to be Ronnie O'Sullivan to win at 8 ball. You can cover a pocket, you can get 2 shots, you can snooker, you can do all this stuff.
Just did it be Ronnie George.
Touch is important. Ronnie George. Did I say Ronnie O'Sullivan or Ronnie George?
I mean, they're similar.
George Sullivan. No, Ronnie is a very, very good tactical player. I'd like to see Ronnie George play a race to 21 with JR, and I'll come back in 2 days and just catch the end of it. So I'd be happy with that. What? I appreciate tactical play. I can't pot long bombs. I do tactical crap as well. No, it's not crap.
And Chiefy, how'd you go
it's all
this
part of the
weekend?
I had 5 tactical frames in a row. It was the longest match I've ever played in my life. Nah, Rexy got me. Rexy played well.
And he's still smashing up the old Rexy?
Rexy's still kicking. Yeah. He bundled the old Chiefy out and into the commentary box. And what is it? 4:15? Okay. No, it's been some good matchups. Nathan Harris played Lockie Courtney before, and Lockie just went blazing out and potted everything inside, as you do when you're 18 years old.
Jamo lost to Jake, I think, and okay, in there.
What's Dan saying here?
Sorry. Okay, so just like just while Rob and Ronnie are playing, I'm just looking around the room. I can see Ben Noonan is playing Ben Judge in the corner. Ben Judge,
It's a Ben off.
superstar snooker player from WA, very, very solid. And he is not going to fall for any of this Benny Noonan pot out nonsense. He is going to make it hard for him. And Butter's watching on after being bundled out 4-0 by Ben Noonan in about 4 seconds.
It was
earlier on.
quick. And shout out to the Pote who's loving Ben
Yep.
winning frames.
We have Don Colbert who's playing Margorski over there as well. That's been going for a while. Tim Dixon is just... Is he playing? No, he's practicing. Just practicing.
Team Gorski's going all right. 2 in the 16 was fair effort.
The Gorskis. Okay. I probably don't need to tell viewers that someone just potted the black because...
I'm tipping it
everyone
was
saw it.
Rob based on the frame time.
One all.
I was wrong.
Too many games going.
Is that Darren's wife or Darren's? She wants him, or he or she wants.
You want Darren back? Oh.
And earlier on it said it's his partner or husband.
Is it Lisa? Where's Lisa? I can't see her. She's here somewhere. There she is. That one there.
Oh yeah.
It's a rue.
Lisa is very good value. I found out the other day she's from Christchurch, so she's very happy to be in Australia because she's still here.
Well, that's fair.
And
point.
she works at Potters and she gives me beers. So on Thursday nights, I'm
And
happy
very
with
good
that.
burgers.
And
so
Tuesday nights.
Loves
The
a burger.
Brunsey burger. Yes, if anyone is in Melbourne, I can free plug for Potters, and just recently taken over by Jeff Brunsma, who's been in the pool scene for a long, long time, probably since before I was born. And you can get the Brunsey burger down at Potters.
Good value.
Well, it's popular, so I assume so.
Oh, yes, of course. For you, it's not the best thing in the world, is it?
Well, you know, they have beer, so I'm happy with that.
You want the Brunsey burger, hold the burger.
The Brunsey, hold the Brunsey. I don't want to play Brunsey. He's another tactical bloody. Too many tactical players for me.
Do we know how Lockie went in his game?
Lockie Courtney. Don't know.
Knocked off the
Someone's
the
put
hammer.
their cue away. Yeah, he beat Hammer convincingly in 4-1, I think.
Two shoots, 2 Lansborough to table 9, please.
Oh, the ogre.
Okay, so yeah, I digress. Can we get back to talking about Nick Howie and how good he was when he won the
The screen on
Australian
here, I
Championship?
reckon you're not going to have a good time if you're on red there. Oh, here we go.
No, there wasn't any balls left on that one.
Steve Lansborough and Kevin
So
Burton,
Rob Bowen.
It's just failed.
Yeah. Yep. So Ronnie's at the table. Rob Bowen does not look too happy at all. Shaking his head. Benny and Judge. We normally get Grug to go around the grounds.
I'll pass you back to Darren and I'll do a roaming update.
Okay. If you can do, here comes KD.
Yeah.
If you can do around the grounds,
I'll get the Marg score,
We'll
Ben
get-
score for you all.
perfect. So,
Goodbye, Nick. Love you lots.
okay. Shout out to Nick Howie, and no, I think that's it. Just those two, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
The quarters will be
Yeah.
both tables, but we're
just those two.
16 here.
Yeah. So King Daz is back. Welcome back, KD.
Oh, thank you. It's a
You found the bar all right?
it's a lovely facility, this, and I needed to use the facilities.
Ah, good work. Good work.
Let's just say it felt just as good on the way out as it did on the way in.
Ah, well, you just rent the stuff, really. You know, you borrow it for a while, then you give it back to another room.
And they charge you for it.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate part. Sir Gruggs a lot has left us. He's gone to find out the scores with Ben Noonan and Ben Judge. and the other game next to that, which is Don Colbert and Marg Gorski.
Oh, he's a good girl.
So we'll get those results shortly. Grug. Andrew Miles. Which Benny?
Okay, so to get myself back up to
Ben,
speed,
okay.
so we're 1-1, Rob Bowen, Ronnie George. Ronnie
So-
George is on red, so I know what you say about Ronnie George and his slow tactical frames, but he should be going out from here, would you say? Does the
He-
black pass
absolutely.
to the bottom right?
It looks like it does. There's a problem. The transition is problematic though. Like if you look at that red bottom left. I'll just butt in. Ben Noonan is up 3-2 against Ben Judge in a race to 4. And Ben Noonan's just packed up his cue, so I would say that Ben Noonan has won. Don Colbert is still playing Marg Gorski. That's the other game that's still in progress.
So Ronnie's looking at landing fairly
So-
straight on this one down the rail to the bottom left, I would expect. So he can get nice
Is he
position.
straight? He's playing the top one.
But he'd come off the rail. Oh, okay.
I don't know. I didn't like that.
No, I don't like that.
That transition wasn't
Yeah.
really.
I think a soft shot off the cushion, land straight on the one down the rail.
Yeah. So he's sort of the two options are the thin snick on the red to the middle and send the white off 10 rails and try and do something,
And hope for something.
or drop the other one all the way down the rail. But Benny was in front, so
I'm actually trying to work out what the best
Ben Noonan won
what
4-2.
the best way is for Ronnie
Yeah.
at the moment. I can't see a good option here for him. The one down the rail's a nice one to get out of the way, but to get position on the sorry, we've got a score update coming. And look, he played the pot well, very
Mark
well,
Gorski.
but unfortunately didn't get good position on the last red. And I think the black only goes into one pocket,
So
which is the bottom
what
right.
do you do? Do you do thin snick or
Yes.
thin snick to the corner?
No, I think
Thin stick to the middle.
To the middle, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's got to try and hold the white, almost put it
Nah,
back
you
just
can't-
short
you
of where
can't
it is
hold the
now.
white. It's so thin.
It is too far, isn't it?
It might be. Well, you sort of have to try something. I judged that well.
He's
He's
good
cheated
pot.
it.
Oh.
He cheated it. That's a great shot.
You've been told you're expected to go home now.
Ah, okay.
So now what are you left with here? He's on the black, Chiefy.
All right.
What are you doing here? Are you cutting? Are you doubling to the centre?
Well,
Either way, he's a hard shot.
you have to cut it. The yellow's in the way at the top. Oh, he's got 2. If he doesn't have 2,
All right.
nah, he's got 2. Ah, he's fine.
I
He's
wasn't
fine.
up to speed with that one then.
Yeah, sorry. There's a lot going on.
That
and
makes
we're
the
trying
red
to-
3 reds ago an interesting shot.
Yeah.
Because if
Oh,
he
well.
had 2 back then, he could probably have done that a little bit smarter.
Yeah.
Easy for me to say. I'm out and he's not.
Well, that's right. 2-1. It's too much. So Ronnie's up 2-1. 2-1 to Ronnie. And on that note, it's time to my driver. He heard me say that, and he was big smile. Dean Easton will be taking over.
It doesn't sound
So,
like he's too happy about it either, does it? You're in for a long trip home, yeah?
Oh no, I'll tell you what. This is Glenn Croce we're talking about. That's how everyone pronounces it. He actually played all right today, so I'll get to hear all about it on the way home.
Happy travelling.
So, yeah, another great tournament in Albury. I'll be back next year. And thanks, Kenny and KD, and we'll catch up shortly.
Thanks, Chiefy. All the best and safe travelling. I wouldn't mind mentioning the Calcutta while I'm here. I was here this morning for the final 32 on the table for the Calcutta. And they generated just under $8,000. The highest amount went to Steve Woods for $800. Ben Noonan went for $500. Jake McCartney went for $400, which was pretty cheap. There were a few surprises with the amounts down the order. A couple of the top 32 actually got passed in and were a basket case for, I think there were 2 or 3 players. It was 3 players bought in the basket for $150. So interesting Calcutta, but the top end is very hard to pick. There's a good 5 or 6 players that have certainly got the ability to win this, regardless of the draw, and then obviously with a lucky draw, there's probably another half a dozen. So yeah, good bit of entertainment. Like the Calcutta myself. Don't often bet in it, but it's always a good bit of entertainment. Welcome aboard, Dino.
Thank you, and nice to meet you all. Hopefully we don't give you too much dead air time here. Donnie Colbert has just taken his win against Margie.
Who do you win against?
Margie. I'm not sure her last name.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm only new to the scene, so I don't know everybody's name. So hopefully I can get informed and we can inform you guys.
So Ronnie George up 2-0 on Rob Bowen is certainly a good effort. Obviously playing very well today.
Yes, it is a good start for Ronnie actually.
We were talking before, Leigh and myself, about how these two players are pretty much the opposite ends of the scale. So Ronnie's a very tactical, methodical player, whereas Rob Bowen's quite an aggressive player. Both achieving good results with their respective ways of the game. It's good to see two opposites come up against each other.
Sorry, mate, I've just joined. So what's Ronnie on? Ronnie's
on the yellows.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And
interesting lineup at the moment.
I can see an out. He's obviously going for it if he's taking this ball.
Yeah, you very rarely open up the black until it's time to do so.
Exactly right.
But
so it's tough from here. He probably wanted to land it on this side of that yellow, if that makes sense, to then be able to play the yellow up on the top rail as we look at the table.
Yeah, this does sound correct, yes. Chambers. Yeah, he's coming down the rail. Hopefully he gets himself positioned on the one in the corner. Oh no, he's actually screwed it back.
How well does a new cloth screw back? Isn't it lovely? You try and screw back a little bit and it ends up going 3 runs up the table.
Yeah, sometimes runs a lot further than you intended to, which can get you caught out on a few games, definitely.
It does open up some options for you though, so the experienced players that know that, they'll play to it. And one of the greats of playing on new cloth is Peter Butterworth. He's very good at that.
It's getting used to the fact that it sort of drags a bit before it gets hold of the spin.
Yeah, so you can actually see it. Yeah, you did right. Yeah. So I'm assuming the black goes into the middle left. And so he could play, I was thinking he could play the yellow that's more towards the centre of the table. I'm just watching and concentrating on what he's doing.
Oh, look at that. He's actually tried to extract the black, but unfortunately it didn't work. But he's got a perfect opportunity to do it this time if he can get on the right-hand side of that black with the white to kick it back enough for the yellow at the top.
If he can play the black into the same pocket that he's got to play this yellow into, he can obviously do the drawback from this yellow to play the top yellow, and I think you can play that black into the same corner.
Yes, it does.
That's what I'd be looking at if I was at the table. And please forgive me, I'm not the players that these guys are.
Yeah, he's just going to make sure he screws back past that black if he's going to go the one in the corner here, in the bottom corner. But he might be looking about just leaving it placed there to get up between those two reds on the other yellow in the other top left corner.
It's a small gap to aim for.
Yeah, no,
that's
screwed
the
back.
shot. That's the shot.
Yeah.
So now he's opened himself up to get onto the black, the same corner he just played that in, which is the money, and it'll be an absolute brilliant out.
He's just got to be careful where he places the white. If he goes too far, he'll end up clipping that red first.
Yes.
I mean, sorry, if he doesn't go back far enough, he'll clip the red first.
He probably wants the white pretty close to where it is now.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good.
Maybe even closer to the centre pocket would give him a better angle on it. But he's got one shot at this, because if he doesn't make this, I know what Rob Bowen's like.
Oh, in that position, he'll be cleaning up for sure.
Rob Bowen will be eating chocolates. It's a pressure shot. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, lovely angle.
Yeah, good shot, Ronnie.
But
well done.
Definitely going to be close, making sure he hits the black first.
I think if he hits a red first, he didn't hit it right. So I'm pretty confident he can ignore the red and just play the shot. We will be watching closely. He's definitely hit the black first. Good
Nice.
shot.
Nice out there.
Top out, Ronnie. Well done.
3-1 to Ronnie. George.
Reese Godden, table 13, please.
Ronnie
George. 3-1 now. Yep. And Robbie Bowen's break, so he's going to be wanting to try to do a master, I reckon. Get the scores back to being even.
And to anyone who's thinking of coming up here to play this comp, you could live out of this venue. If there were beds in here, and there is a hotel across the road, but if there were beds in here, you could literally live in here. There are restaurants, there are gaming machines, there's dance floor and live bands, there's function rooms, there's bars everywhere. It's absolutely brilliant. You park your car up here on the Friday when you get here, and the car doesn't move until the Monday when you go home. Awesome weekend.
Yes, it definitely is. Like, I'm only a low-grade player. I've only just started joining here 3 years ago. This is my third year down here. And strangely enough, I made top 32 this year.
Yeah, I saw you going well there. Well done, man.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
excellent. Yeah. And
Couple-
it helps with the confidence too, doesn't it, Dean?
Oh,
Like, you're going to
definitely
feel
does.
really good about this weekend. And obviously you played well to make top 32.
Well, it was my objection was try to get top 32. I came here the first year and made top 64, so I thought, yeah, try to improve. Came last year and unfortunately didn't do too well. But it's just the way the balls roll sometimes.
Yeah. You just keep at it. Keep putting the time in, and you get results. You have a good weekend like this, and it just motivates you to keep going. So.
Oh, definitely. I'll
Certainly
definitely be
a
down
good
here
world we
next
live in.
time. Sorry, mate. Ronnie George is at the ball at the moment. Ooh. Might not have been exactly what he was looking for, but it's all right.
So I'm assuming he broke, potted a yellow, and then chose to stay yellow. Is that right?
No, I think
Rob
Robbie
break,
Bowen.
did
I
he?
think Robbie Bowen broke actually.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we're talking about me being top 32 that we missed. Actually, what happened?
Maybe Ronnie potted a yellow and then used that as his second shot, which wasn't a bad shot if that's the case. I like it. So Rob has to go super aggressive here if he wants to get back onto the way that he prefers to play a frame.
Okay, giving him 2 shots.
And that's going to be a
That's
foul
actually
snooker.
not a bad shot there.
No, it's not a foul snooker, sorry, because Ronnie's on yellow. It is a good shot. Yeah, I do like that.
Sort of forcing Ronnie to open up that pocket there at the moment.
Yeah. I don't know Ronnie too well. I have played him a couple of times, but if what Leigh said is right, and Ronnie's a very tactical player, Ronnie will be in his element here. He'll know what to do.
Yeah, the fact he's got 2, I reckon he'll just skim past this yellow, hit the knuckle, and bring the white back out towards the centre, of course, and try to leave that yellow there in the pocket. I don't think he'll want to move it, but I'm only a newbie, so I could be wrong with the way he thinks. It's better than me.
You'd want the yellow tighter in the pocket, which he can't do from here, obviously. I think his brain's turning over as fast as mine is. I'm not sure what to do here either.
Yeah, we sort of more or less did what I suspected, but he sort of pushed the yellow out a little bit further than I intended he would.
So he's probably got to look at coverage on, with his other yellow up the top right of the table, he's probably got to look at coverage there, I think, just to try and stop Rob from having an out.
Yeah, that's a very tactical move.
Because he hasn't got an ideal pot on. The only one he's got is the yellow in the centre of the table, which isn't easy playing off the rail. So I think he's got to look at covering the pocket up the top right.
Being a tactical player like Ronnie George is, he definitely will be doing that for sure.
He's clipped the red on the way through, unfortunately, so...
Didn't quite get the coverage he was looking for.
So looking at Rob's strategy here, so his problem ball's the one closest to the black. Every other ball is potable. Yeah, you're right, that red ball does go towards the...
Yeah, very tactical move there on Robbie's behalf.
Yeah, it's a very good shot. One that I didn't look at. That's why he's playing and I'm not.
Yes. If we saw those shots a bit more often, we'd probably be up there too. And Ronnie George is just probably thinking about extracting that yellow out of there now. Yeah, he wanted it in the centre, but that's close enough. That's centre table.
Yeah, unfortunately he didn't create any coverage from that. So when you've got to play a ball out of, where you're in danger, ideally you want to try and get some coverage on something, whether it be the black or one of their balls. And I'm not sure if it was possible from where he was, but the shot he played before to the shot he played just then sort of cancelled each other out.
Well, Rob Bowen, he's starting to play a tactical game with Ronnie.
He is, yeah. And no doubt the guy can do it. He was a state player for Victoria, so I've not seen him play a tactical frame, only because the people that, or the likes of me, if I play him, he doesn't play tactical against me because he doesn't need to.
Yes, correct. He's done the same thing with me many a times.
But it's actually good to see him perform in this. I actually like his shot. I think that was a great shot.
Definitely is a great shot. I'm not sure if he's actually got an angle to come down on that yellow there. Yeah. No, I didn't think he'd be able to pot it, but I knew he'd be able to clip it, of course.
He's actually left that white in a pretty good spot.
Yeah.
So what are you doing here, Dino?
You've got a sort of cannon on if you wanted to go the cannon. Try to be a bit more tactical. I'd probably try to double that red close to the white, the one in the middle there. Double it back into this corner and try to just send the white back up the top.
I'm probably playing if he can get on it, I'm probably playing the one in the corner where the white was. I'm probably heading up that way.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably Cush first.
Yeah, definitely Cush first.
Definitely Cush first, and then he can force the yellow closest to the top left pocket and get a snooker again.
Oh, he must have the angle. Yeah. Yeah, nice tap there.
So the first thing I see here, I'm not sure if it's the right thing, but the first thing I see is he could play the red closest to the white and sit the white behind the red closest to the top left pocket.
Yes, I see what you're saying.
It's probably going to put the red that he's going to play right on the cushion, but for a player like him, I wouldn't see that as a problem.
No, he's probably going to go for a bit more of an out, get a couple of these balls out of the way from the top end, keep the play down the bottom end then.
So has he pulled the trigger? Is he going for the out?
I don't think he'd be going for the out yet, but that red near the centre pocket, I think he might try to run that down to block the corner pocket.
I think it
gets a chance
goes.
onto it.
I think it goes. If not, at least covers the pocket, because Ronnie's got 2 balls there that kind of need to go in there.
You've still got that red in the centre there. That's near the black. That's going to be a little bit of a tight ball for him if he doesn't get the right position with the white. Oh, well. He's about to approach. We'll see what he's about to do.
Played that with massive confidence.
Yeah, I think he was hoping the white
Massive
would run it.
confidence and a great shot. Because some of these tables that I've played on this weekend, a couple of them go nice and fast into the centre, but a couple don't. So that was a brave shot.
I think that just comes down to accuracy. If you go for the
100%.
centre, it goes in.
Yeah.
If you clip that knuckle, you just never know if it's going to drop or
Yeah.
bounce straight back out of there.
So I think he's playing the shot you mentioned, yeah?
Yeah. Oh,
Wow,
he's actually bounced
that was
it
a
off
great
that
shot.
And he's opened up a spot for that red. Beautiful. See?
He didn't go for the coverage. He's Mr. Aggression now, isn't he?
Oh, definitely.
He's going for an
definitely.
out. He's getting it from somewhere. And
Like Leigh had said, that he's more of an aggressive player.
Yeah.
He likes to go for the out if he can see the out. But honestly, I never saw that as a possibility for an out, and he's just pulled it.
so he could play the one closest to the black now, punch the yellow out of the way of the black, just get it right out of there,
Oh,
which I think he did.
yeah, he's done all right.
Yeah, I think he
Maybe
did.
not as much as he would have liked.
So the tough part now is playing this one to the centre and getting on the top red.
He wants to run up a little bit past those 2 yellows so he gets an angle to come back. So he doesn't snooker himself behind those 2 yellows.
Correct. So whether you hit the yellow that's in the centre of the table, like so, perfect.
Yeah.
Now this
Oh.
is just a natural roll in.
Oh, yeah, I'm thinking that black will just scoot past that
Yeah.
yellow there. But if not, he's going to have to try to get across to the other side of the table with that white so we can bring the black down in the other corner.
I'm pretty confident it gets past. We're just looking over at the table now. We're not quite on the right angle, but I'm pretty confident that black goes sweet into the bottom right.
It does look like it will, but it'll be close. Yeah, on that angle, yeah, it definitely looks like that black will squeeze past that yellow. He's just got to try to leave the white where the red is, I think.
Wow.
Well, like
And
I
then-
suggested, he was going to try to bring that over to this side.
The unfortunate part about being aggressive, and I'm an aggressive player myself, is the chances are he's handed the frame over to Ronnie George.
Ronnie's still got a little bit of work to do, but he can be very tactical now here. Just set the one up in the corner and hide behind those 2 or go for the out.
They'd be definitely going for the out. There's no safety here.
Yeah, he follows through on this one. He's got the one near the black straight back into the corner.
He'd probably try and stun this down towards the black spot, but slightly to the left, and he'll take the one under the black next.
And screw back for the other one, you
Yeah.
reckon?
Or the extreme left yellow will be next. Yeah.
Yeah.
The one near
no,
the
that
black.
was nicely
Yep.
done. Screw back nicely for that.
Well, he's got 2 options here. I think I'd be taking the one near the black, and then he'll have natural angle to play the one near the nameplate, off the bottom rail and up towards where the white is now, to play the last yellow, pretty much from where the white is now. He chooses the opposite.
Yeah, nice shot. He'll screw.
There
of
wasn't
course.
really a wrong option there. There's many ways you could have done that.
Guys, I've just got to give you a message. If we're taking alcohol around the venue, we can't actually leave it in the entry for you, because legally they have to remove it, take it, so the alcohol needs to stay in the venue drinking areas.
He'll follow through on this one, yellow in the corner here. I reckon he's planned on playing that black into the centre. I could be wrong. We'll see. He's got left himself a nice angle there to actually bounce that white back out.
He's got options, but I think you're right. I think he's going to play the black into the
steady.
centre.
Yeah.
It's always worth looking at when you do get to the black ball. Actually, that's more of an angle than we thought. He may screw back and take it to the left centre, as we looked at the table before.
Yeah, the ball runs pretty quick. He might even be screwing it around and back into the corner, but we'll see what happens.
But it's always worth looking at when you get to the black. If you've got an option of playing the black, which also leaves the white in a position where your opponent can't pot his ball if you miss, that's the one to take. You obviously don't want to put extra pressure on yourself if it's a harder shot.
Oh, nice shot.
Yeah, lovely shot.
Bounced back nicely. It had to be 4-1.
And he's done that. So if you look at this, it's an easier pot than a centre ball, but you look where the white's going to go. It's just that little bit harder for Rob if he misses, you know.
Yeah, and if he does miss, it might just sit on the bottom rail anyway.
Exactly,
and
which is exactly what he did. So a great out and well done, Ronnie. Well done.
So it's 4-1 Ronnie's way. Well done to Ronnie George. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if that was still part of the top 16 or the top 32. We have top 16. Oh, it says it here. Why don't I read that? That's it. Tell me to open up my eyes and look at the bottom of the screen. I'll know it was the last 16.